Hello and greetings from Vienna, Austria. This is Deidre Dino and I am the Student Account Manager and Head of Admissions at Webster Vienna Private University. So I'm just going to start my presentation with the first slide. Right, this is our first slide. Again, I am from Webster Vienna Private University. It's not a very big university located in the 2nd District of Vienna, Austria, but you can see our campus here on this first slide. It's actually of neoclassical design, and we'll get to that later, describe the history of Webster in Vienna. This is called the Palais Wenkheim. To start off, so why study in Vienna, Austria? First of all, Vienna is in a great location. It's right at the center of Europe. It's at the heart of Europe, and we're quite proud and happy to be here. It's been voted, or Vienna has been voted, the most livable city in the world. It's always been at the top of so many quality living surveys done by organizations such as Forbes and Mercer for the last 10 years. It's a business and diplomatic hub. We have over 40 international organizations, and not just that, but also hundreds of multinational corporations which have opened their headquarters or affiliate offices in Vienna in the last 2 to 3 years alone. It's also, if you're interested in classical music, you would be happy to know that it's the capital of classical music, as more famous composers have lived here more than anywhere else in the world. And because of its location at the heart of Europe, Central Europe, it actually is well connected to major cities of Europe. And so it's so easy to actually just take a train ride, and in 3 hours or even 1 hour or 5 hours, you'll be in another major European city. So it's quite nice. You know, during a weekend, you can just quickly decide to visit Prague or visit Budapest, or just explore another country altogether without really booking a whole week's vacation. So it's quite nice to be in that particular situation and to have those options available. We have a lot of opportunities for students who are interested in culture, in architecture, in music, in nature, and of course in sports. So all of those opportunities are available, and you don't even have to leave Vienna. A little bit about the history of Webster Vienna Private University. We start off with the founding of the actual main campus, or the parent campus of Webster Vienna Private University. Webster University was founded in 1915 in St. Louis, Missouri in the United States. It's grown so much since then. It's over 100 years old, and now it's got over 60 metropolitan campuses, and of course, a lot of international campuses distributed around the world. The Vienna campus opened in 1981 at the invitation of the mayor of the city of Vienna. And important milestones would include that in 2001, for example, we received the Austrian accreditation through the agency AQ Austria, which is the agency that actually awards accreditation to universities and higher educational institutions. Why is this significant? Because since 2001, we have been able to award 2 different diplomas to students who qualify. We have, of course, the bachelor's or master's degree that comes with American credits, which is the Webster University diploma. And since we received accreditation, we also now award a second diploma to those who meet the residential credit requirements. That will be the Webster Vienna diploma, which comes with an ECTS diploma supplement. And why is that significant? Because if you want to pursue advanced degrees after your studies here at Webster Vienna Private University, it doesn't matter if it's in the US or in Europe, you can use the diploma that best fits your purpose. So if you're going to the US for your advanced degrees, whether it's master's or doctorates, you have your US credits. Clear, easy to read for the next American university. If you are intending to take a doctorate degree or a postgraduate degree in Europe, then you have the ECTS diploma and the diploma supplement. So that's quite important for those who want to pursue further studies in the future. In 2014, we moved to the newest campus, which is Palais Wenkheim, and you saw that earlier on our first slide. It's of neoclassical design. It's a very old building, but of course has been completely renovated before Webster Vienna moved in 2014. Another upcoming milestone is actually this year, where we will turn 40 years old. So that's an amazing achievement, 4 decades of educating students to be global citizens, and we are quite proud to have reached that milestone. It has been dampened, of course, by the pandemic, but of course, we hope to hold a lot of virtual events, as well as hopefully next year, when things go back to normal, which is our fervent hope, we would be able to host on-campus events and invite our alumni and all of our graduates back to this campus. So why Webster Vienna? What are the reasons why students choose Webster Vienna Private University? First of all, we do have our dual accreditation, where you get a diploma from the United States that's recognized in the US. You also get a diploma that's recognized in the European higher education area with the ECTS. We have an American curriculum, so you have your major, you have your liberal arts program, which is part of the bachelor's or bachelor's degree in the US, and you also can combine that with a secondary focus, or what we call a minor. We have small class sizes. You're not actually just one number in a sea of about 200 faces listening to a lecture. Our class sizes are quite small. Average class size would be about 15 for bachelor's degree programs and 7 or 8 for master's degree programs. So you would get individualized attention. We also look at case studies, field projects, and not just a lot of theory. We also invite a lot of guest lecturers from around the world. So you're not just exposed to, for example, professors that come just from the US or just from Austria, but you actually have a ton of different professors of different nationalities and backgrounds who can share their insights and experiences with you. There is also a very strong focus on soft skills. So aside from just memorizing everything in your major and understanding the theory and conceptual frameworks, you also have to develop additional skills, which are very practical. Once you get looking for a job, once you actually get the job of your choice or of your dreams, you have to be able to actually perform in your team. So you have to demonstrate teamwork. You have to be able to present. You have to demonstrate leadership skills. If you want to actually go up the corporate ladder, you have to be able to solve problems and think critically. And of course, you have to be able to negotiate. So very important life skills that you need in order to do your job really well after you finish your studies. So we have bachelor's degree programs, and we currently have 4 academic departments. The first academic department, the Business and Management Department, has 4 degree programs. We have the Bachelor of Science, or BSc, in Business Administration. We have a Bachelor of Arts, or BA, in Management, General Management program. We also have a BA in Management with an emphasis in International Business. And we also have a BA in Management with an emphasis in Marketing. So apart from those programs under the Business and Management Department, we also have the Psychology Department. So we have the BA in Psychology. We also have the International Relations Department with its BA degree, a Bachelor of Arts as well. And last but not least, our most recently launched program, Strategic Communications, which is very structured and intersects with other areas of social science as well. So Strategic Communications is also a BA, a Bachelor of Arts degree. As I mentioned before, as an American university that's accredited in Austria, we do combine the best of both worlds. So we also allow for secondary focus, or a minor. And we have, for example, students who are taking, let's say, a major in psychology or international relations, but are taking a minor in business or in economics, or in media, or in philosophy. These are also available for our students. So the bachelor's degree programs in the US curriculum usually last for 4 years because of the required liberal arts skills and knowledge areas that you have to complete. But we also have students who finish before 4 years because they have advanced standing credits from taking very rigorous secondary examinations, such as the IB diploma, the A levels in the UK. We've got secondary certificate national examinations from different European countries, and obviously advanced placement in the United States. So we just need normally the official test results, the final results, that would be the final, not the provisional. And once we have these, we can actually process and award advanced standing credits before you even finish your first semester. Minimum admissions requirements. As an accredited university, we do require that students who start the university studies here have already successfully completed their secondary school. And their secondary school must be an accredited school in their residence country. So you can't just take your degree from an online program. It has to be from an accredited or awarded by an accredited secondary school. Could be your home country. It's not a matter of where you come from, but what type of school you're graduating from. So it has to be a recognized and accredited secondary school or high school if you're coming from the US. That we know that the standards are actually checked and regulated and controlled. So we also have English proficiency test results. We require them because all of our programs are in English, and it would be very difficult for a student with not very good English proficiency to successfully complete the program. We do accept different types of test results, so it's not just one, but several. So it's not just the IELTS or the TOEFL, but we also accept, for example, the Cambridge examinations. We accept the Pearson exams. Depending on which continent you're from, you could always ask us if the particular standardized exam you're taking would be acceptable and what the minimum score would be. We would also require, because of course, a university study would require a lot of academic writing. So we also would require an original applicant essay, original, written for the application in English. Usually it's about 350 to 450 words. And of course, we require a copy of your valid passport, so we know ahead of time if you'll need a visa to enter Austria, or if you need to apply for a student residence permit to continue your studies here and finish your degree. And of course, a recommendation letter from a school counselor or a professor or a teacher. So if you have any questions, of course, our email address is on this slide if you have questions about these particular requirements. On to our master's programs. We have 5 master's programs. We have 2 Masters of Science degree programs, that would be finance and marketing. We have the MA or Master of Arts programs in international relations and in psychology with an emphasis in counseling psychology. And of course, we have our MBA or Master of Business Administration program. Now, most of our programs are designed to be completed in 2 years, even if you're working full-time, because they are rigorous. It's not some program that you can finish easily in 1 year. You could technically finish it in 1.5 years, but you would have to also take the full load even in the summer. So it's a very rigorous program. I would not recommend trying to finish it in less than 2 years. If you are working full-time and you're also raising a family, obviously you'll have to go the part-time route. And that means, of course, you would take longer to complete, but that's fine. As long as you're learning as much as you can and you're getting good grades, what's important is that you finish the degree. It could take longer, but that's fine. We don't judge, and we certainly appreciate that you're trying to balance your work life and your family life and your studies. Minimum admissions requirement, again, we are an accredited university, so we have to maintain certain standards, and you cannot start a master's degree unless you already have a bachelor's degree from an accredited university or college. So you can't just come in. It can't just be a course that you took with absolutely no diploma. So you have to present that. In terms of grade requirements for both bachelor's and master's, we understand that not everyone will be amazing at examinations. So the grade isn't the most important thing. We are very inclusive in that respect. So if, for example, you're coming from the US, out of a grading scale with 4.0 as the perfect score, 2.5 would be enough for admission. If you're coming from a different country, we have a way of converting the grades and finding out what your American GPA would be. But in terms of percentages, if you're getting 75% in your subjects, in your major subjects in the last 3 years, or in your bachelor's degree as a grade point average or as your weighted average, this is important. You can actually be successful only if we have you can be successfully admitted if we have proof that you were able to do really well in your studies before things get more difficult. We do require a recommendation letter, again, from a former professor, or in this case, a work supervisor if you've already been working for a while. We would need an updated curriculum vitae or a resume. And there are certain special requirements. For example, for the MBA program, we would require 2 years of relevant work experience, which should be shown on your resume or CV. And for the psychology program, it wasn't mentioned here, because it's a focused program and it specializes in counseling psychology, you should have finished a Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science degree in psychology. If you have not, and you'd like to start with the Master of Arts in Psychology, you would have to, even if you already have a bachelor's diploma, but in a different area, you would have to complete several subjects, which we call prerequisites. And once you've completed those prerequisites, then you could start with the master's program in psychology or counseling psychology. The application process is not at all complicated. So the first thing is to create an online account. Please note, we do not use paper forms. That's a thing of the past. And so it's important that we have digital copies and are able to access your record. So you need to upload the documents, which I mentioned earlier in the previous slides, and then you complete your application. This is reviewed. For master's degree students, normally you would have to go through an interview as well, and this would be scheduled with the academic department head. So if you're applying for international relations, then you would have to have an interview with the head of our international relations department, for example. If you have other questions about this that are very detailed, you can always email us through the email address written on the slide. So American universities are quite known for high tuition fees, and we've tried to limit that to the best of our ability. The median, I would say the average tuition fee in a private university in the US right now is $35,000 per year. So we've tried to decrease that as much as we could. It is in euros. Our tuition fees are charged in euros. But we also offer scholarships, which are based mainly on academic strength and financial need. So as you can see here, financial need is a criterion, which means that we will not be awarding new student scholarships to students who already have a ton of money. If we have students who need more help, then of course we will focus on them first. So for new students, for example, we have the new student scholarships, which range from 15% to 50% off of your tuition fee. For those who have family members who studied, who are studying, or who have graduated from Webster University, not even from Vienna, but maybe from another campus, they are eligible for a legacy grant. So depending on how close your relationship is, for example, if it's your brother or sister or your mother or father, then you get a 10% discount as a legacy grant. Those who actually finish their bachelor's degree from a Webster University campus, whether it's the US campus or another European campus, you are eligible for a second degree grant, which gets you 20% off your master's degree if you come to Webster Vienna. For our new bachelor's degree students who have not had any university studies yet, so freshmen we call them, if you have very strong grades, very high English proficiency, and of course evidence of financial need, you could apply for an externally sponsored Borealis scholarship. So this is actually quite high, but it will only be awarded to one student in the next academic year. So you really have to go through a very competitive process, which ends with an interview with the management team and the scholarship committee. The last one is for those who are already enrolled. It's the top one on this list. It's training scholarship, which combines giving you work experience and a tuition fee discount. So once you're already enrolled in classes, you could be eligible to apply for the WVTS, or the training scholarship, which allows you to apply for a research position or a support position in different departments at Webster Vienna. And what you do is you work with a project manager or leader or a supervisor for anywhere from 5 to 15 hours a week. Of course, they will be flexible because they would not want to schedule your working hours while you're studying. So that's, of course, a priority. But what this gives you is actually some work experience you can put on your CV, as well as a tuition fee discount. So next slide. We do value the experience of a university. And so even if Webster Vienna only has about 500 students every year, we try to maximize the experience by allowing you to be exposed to both Austrian and American culture. So some examples of these would include the Ball of Science. I don't know if you know, but Vienna is really well known for all of its balls and dances. And so we allow our students to get significantly discounted tickets to these balls, particularly the Ball of Science every year. We celebrate Thanksgiving here, so we actually have a nice dinner that is sponsored by the university. You do have to RSVP if you want to join. You can see that on the bottom right photo. We've got a talent show called Webster's Got Talent. So you would be able to showcase your talents and possibly win a prize, which would include a trip to another European country so that you can compete with the winners of the other European campuses, Webster's Got Talent winners. Of course, we have a lot of extracurricular activities. We have, for example, Easter and Halloween, and we try to take advantage of those holidays and events to create and organize activities for our students where they could actually come together as a community. It's very important, especially if you're far away from your home country. We also allow our students the freedom to organize and start their own organizations or clubs. So regardless what your interest is, if you can find a few like-minded individuals, you can start your own club, whether it's a sports club, debate club, a psychology or philosophy club, or a chess club, whichever your interest is, we will be able to support you. So we just need a couple of interested students to start the organization or club. Of course, you can't just start it on your own, all alone. But again, we do have the resources to connect you with people who have the same interests. So one of the other important features of being in an international network of campuses, which Webster University represents, is the study abroad opportunity. So this would be an exchange opportunity for 1 semester or 2 semesters or 1 full academic year. You could actually apply for a study abroad semester in another one of our international campuses or the US campus in St. Louis, Missouri. Webster University has campuses in 9 countries and 4 continents. And these are some of the more popular ones because they're usually good study abroad locations. We have the St. Louis campus, of course, in the United States. We have the Leiden campus in the Netherlands. We have the Geneva campus in Switzerland. We've got a campus in Accra in Ghana, in Africa, and we also have our Asian campuses. We do have master's programs in China as well, particularly in Chengdu and Shanghai. Not featured here, but we have the Thai campuses in Cha'am and Bangkok, popular destination for the summer. The newest campus is in Uzbekistan, in Tashkent. So we have a lot of 3,000 students, pretty big. So that would be also an interesting destination for study abroad. If you want something really different. It's an investment. It's a huge investment in education when you come to Webster Vienna Private University. So we want to make it worth your while. So it's important for us to be able to provide a return on your investment. And we do that with our career services, where you can get counseling, coaching, workshops where you could learn how to properly perform well in an interview, write an application letter, check your CV if it's correctly formatted, if it's well presented, if it's something that will impress HR professionals or recruiters. We also have job postings, not just on social media, but also on a job portal called Job Teaser, where you get a free account once you become a student. So you could see the job openings that are exclusively for Webster Vienna students. You also have a lot of internship opportunities through our partner organizations and companies. So you would also be the first to know if a company such as Microsoft or Bloomberg or the International Atomic Energy Agency would have openings for interns, as well as for junior entry-level positions. So it's really important to be able to stay in touch with our career services staff. And you can actually have your one-on-one appointments and meetings with them, or you could have your small group appointments as well. So this next slide would show the logos of some of the companies that have worked with our students, that have taken on our students as interns and have actually offered jobs to our students. The more popular ones you can see here, we have some international organizations like IAEA, UNIDO. We have the United States of America Embassy. We also have some multinational corporations such as Samsung, Deloitte, Citi, got Siemens, KPMG. We also have, of course, the Austrian multinationals. So Julius Meinl, we got Raiffeisen, UPC, and so on and so forth. So you'll see a lot of other companies haven't even been included here, but we're quite happy that a lot of our students are able to get opportunities in these organizations and multinational corporations. So that's it from me. Very important. If you have questions or if I forgot to mention anything and you would like to follow up with a more detailed, more specific question, please do not hesitate to email us through our email address. This is for the Vienna staff. just for the Vienna staff. Please email us through admissions@webster.ac.at. Because Webster University has campuses in 8 other countries aside from the United States, it's to be expected that we also have different websites. To check out the Webster Vienna private university website, please visit www.webster.ac.at. And it's here on the slide. If you have any questions about our admissions application requirements, if you have questions about opportunities for students, housing, how the visa process works, we know general information about that. We know the usual issues and deadlines, for example, and steps to apply. And if you want to connect with other students, if you want to connect with some of our professors, please don't hesitate to email us, or just email us your phone number and we can give you a call if you have questions you'd like to say over the phone. That's also not a problem. Thank you so much, and have a nice evening from Vienna.